What is going on, my Cardano friends? It is your friend Jack here, and in today's video, we're going to be going over Cardano's evolution and specifically Djed building on Cardano that is going to be coming next month. And yes, by next month, I mean January of 2023. Djed stablecoin, which we've been waiting for over a year now, will be launching live on Cardano mainnet. Now, before we get into the video, we dive any further. If you want to stake your ADA to earn passive ADA on your ADA, you can do that with the Jack stake pool. Now, I'm pretty excited about it. A lot of people are excited about Djed. I think Djed could be a major driver in adoption for overall DeFi and Cardano and people getting into the ecosystem without exposing themselves to as much risk as just being in just plain old ADA. Obviously, there is risk with a stablecoin that is an algorithmic one, which is Djed's formats compared to other ones. We have fiat backed and we also have synthetics now, Indigo Protocol. So in today's video, I want to cover what Djed is and go over this thread by Cardano Will to just tell you exactly how Djed works and maybe what you should be aware of when you're getting into Djed as the ecosystem is about to deploy it on the mainnet of Cardano. Okay, now let's dive into what is Djed, right? How is it going to work and how do you access it? First of all, Djed is an over-collateralized 400% to 800% stablecoin backed by ADA, and then it uses Shen as a reserve coin. It's backed by other assets, ADA with utility, independent of Djed, and you can access it at djed.xyz. Keep in mind, right now, if you go to djed.xyz, or I would normally say Zed, it's going to be the testnet version, so just keep that in mind, but you can play around with it on testnet right now. As you can see here by this simple image, which I'll explain a little bit more in a second, you can see when certain collateralized ratios get made, you can't actually perform certain actions for minting or burning the reserve coin, or even minting Djed at the stablecoin if the reserve ratio is too high or too low. So maybe you're asking now, what is Shen and why would I want to buy? Well, Shen offsets ADA price fluctuations, covering shortfalls and guaranteeing collateralization. It's the incentive for over-collateralization, keeping a healthy reserve ratio and incentivizing users to provide stability to the contract by adding more ADA. Now, why would you want to hold or own Shen in general? First off, holders do receive Djed and Shen mint burn fees, plus staking rewards for holding Shen, and also you long ADA, price correlates to ADA with the upside multiplier, as well as you have farming rewards by providing Shen to dexes to farm rewards. And this also is a bit more tricky, so you're going to have to obviously expand on your own risk with certain things like this, but there are a lot of options for when you hold Shen on things you can do with it to yield you returns, and in general, holders are limited based on the max reserve ratio of 800%, so this is a first come, first serve coin. Now, you may be pretty terrified with the previous very well known algorithmic stablecoin fail, UST, and how Djed differs from maybe some of the other failed attempts at algorithmic stablecoins. Well, the key difference between Djed and UST are over collateralization up to 8%. Djed is also decentralized, and Djed is backed by independent assets and utility, as well as a revenue model. And if we go into this in detail, over collateralization, first off, up to 8x. When it comes to UST, users could always redeem Luna for UST and vice versa. You go back and forth as much as you please. Therefore, UST could be under collateralized heavily, and every UST in circulation could reduce the circulation of Luna. This is not the case with Djed. In a sense, UST was kind of just waiting for someone with a lot of money to come in and cause some trouble. Djed has some ways of preventing the same downfall, although doesn't mean it's 100% certain that it couldn't fail, but according and also relating it to UST, you can see that most of those holes that UST took down, if not all of them, are covered from Djed's approach. Now, also important to note that Djed is decentralized. Djed is a fully smart contract driven and autonomous way of doing a stablecoin, unlike Luna, where the network was halted at some point and Bitcoin reserves were managed manually by a multi-sig wallet. Djed operation doesn't depend on decisions by a group of people, and a decentralized smart contract is in control instead. You may hear me being a little bit cautious of my words here because I don't want to tell anyone that Djed is 100% guaranteed or safe, and I want people to also use some caution when approaching this. I do think that it is not a bad thing to take some risks or, maybe take a risk on Djed or use it, but you have to remember that this is new tech. There's likely to be problems and faults, maybe big, maybe small, and you should know that before getting into it, that there is risk associated with it, and this isn't just like 100% perfect and 100% guaranteed to be okay. But comparing it with the rest of Cardano's ecosystem, Djed is very strong and looks to be a great option for Cardano stablecoin, and especially a really good algorithmic one, at least from my point of view. Next up, we have independent assets, utility, and revenue. Luna and UST had a circular dependency. Holders earned from seigniorage, so basically you're incentivized to encourage stuff like Anchor and just Ponzi-nomic type things that aren't sustainable. But Djed is backed by independent assets, or ADA, and utility independent of Djed. Now, you may be wondering, why are we going with an algorithmic backed stablecoin instead of fiat backed? And to be honest, there are a few reasons, but also keep in mind that Emergo, one of the 3 founding partners of Cardano, also has a fiat-backed stablecoin coming out. But the main reason is because fiat-backed stablecoins require trust on entities keeping the reserves. Djed is trustless, and anyone can verify collateral on-chain and also see the smart contract and how secure it is by the test of time to trust that side of it. With Djed, community can mint the reserve token, Shen, and enjoy most of the rewards. Now, Djed is developed by IOG, powered by the Cody network. And what role does Cody play in this? Well, they're essentially the handle front-end development and smart contract integration for Djed. Mint and burn fees of 0.5% are paid in ADA, converted into Cody periodically, held in its treasury to be distributed to participants. As you can see here by the infograph, if you want to pause the video, I will leave it up on screen for just a second here to understand the full system of the Cody ecosystem integrating into the Cardano ecosystem with Djed. And if we keep scrolling here, beyond launch, the future goals for Djed are to be new versions. 1.1.1 and 1.2 will offer Vasil compatibility and higher scalability for Djed, which is always nice to have and very much welcomed. And then 1.3, extended Djed, enabling dynamic fees and prices and staking, though we hope to deliver staking earlier as it's very much a value add to Djed. Finally, they are also developing Djed Pay, aiming to build an app and crypto gateway that allows merchants, e-commerce platforms, and non-profit organizations to receive Djed as a form of payment. There's also going to be plans for adding other collateral in addition to ADA, for example, wrapped Bitcoin or wrapped Ethereum. So those are also things to look forward to. But in general, Djed is looking pretty strong as a stablecoin coming to Cardano, and I do think a lot of the things that Djed are going to be offering will make Cardano's ecosystem of DeFi that much stronger. Right now, we do have some interesting dApps that have came into play within the past 2 months. Optum Finance with bonds for SPOs with over 5 million ADA TVL already, and also Indigo Protocol with synthetic stablecoins and all types of good stuff over there. So I'm excited to see a different type of stablecoin come to the ecosystem, one that is algorithmically backed, and see how it preserves throughout the bear market, and also for when we return to the bull, how much of Djed's reliability maintains with its pegs. Anyways, that's it for today's video. Hope you guys enjoyed. I hope you guys are excited for Djed. I know a lot of people out there are huge Cody fans as well. Let me know your thoughts down in the description, and stick with the Jack stake pool if you enjoyed the video. See you guys in tomorrow's video. Peace out.